WWE creative, take some spray of logic. What is going on, guys? As always, the great one, and what a terrible Monday Night Raw. I want to be positive, I want to say something good about the show, but at the same time, I just cannot. Throughout the whole show, I wasn't entertained pretty much by anything. And the only thing I can think of, I cannot wait for SmackDown Live because there's intrigue, there's something that we can wait for after the paper, after Night of Champions, after Clash of Champions. There's some intrigue into it, the storyline progression, and we cannot wait to see what's happening on Monday Night Raw. It's same old crap. Like, when we talk about Monday Night Raw, the last 4 or 3 shows were completely the same. It was a same show with different type of, I don't know, structure. Instead of the Shield wrestling at the last match, now the Shield is wrestling at the beginning and it's the same guys and that is the same old crap. Where's Roman Reigns, by the way? Where was Roman Reigns? I don't get that, by the way. Where was Roman Reigns during the show? I don't get that. And also, today, my beautiful sexy beasts, is my and my girlfriend's 3-year anniversary, so congratulate the great one. Either way, the show started with Kurt Angle, making his way into the ring, and we got him interrupted by Braun Strowman with a very, very cheesy promo. I'm a huge fan of Braun Strowman, but today it sounded like, I deserve a match because I'm Braun Strowman. Something like that, and it sounded pretty cringy, and the way I said it is even cringier than it should be. And then we got Kane interrupting. He's saying that I should be in a match, I don't know how to do his voice, but it's like, I'm the favorite demon. I'm demon, something like that. And she remember said he deserves to be in a match because the last night it ended in a countdown DQ, whatever the case may be. Nobody won the match. And then we got Brock Lesnar interfering, and Kurt Angle's like in the most boring way, in the most like I don't give a shit. Okay, and by the way, the match at Royal Rumble is triple threat match. Good luck, and they all fight. Brock Lesnar beats the crap out of Kane. And Braun Strowman is out of the ring, looking at Brock Lesnar. And are you guys excited about this? This is the most boring way to get to Royal Rumble. Kane in a main event, Strowman versus Lesnar was bad. Just like I've said from the beginning, I'm not intrigued in any of these type of matches. Brock Lesnar should... I would much rather see someone like Cesaro versus Lesnar. Even, for this point, Sheamus versus Lesnar, I don't care. Anyone else. It's not intriguing at all. It's too predictable as well, and I don't want to see that, guys. I don't know. If any of you are actually excited about that, let me know in the comments below why. I'm really looking forward to see your reactions. And what I'm thinking about right now, who's going to face AJ Styles? Just like I've said, I'm just thinking about SmackDown, and this show just completely sucked. Then we got Seth Rollins, Samoa Joe, and Jason Jordan's segment. Pretty much Seth Rollins, made fun of Jason Jordan. Jason Jordan pushed him because he's not made fun. I'm Kurt Angle's son. He's my daddy. We all know Jason Jordan won Samoa Joe, but it was a Seth Rollins versus Jason Jordan match. Of course, Seth Rollins wins, and Joe was watching the match. A little bit of interference, but nothing too major. Seth Rollins wins with a knee, and it's kind of a good match. Jason Jordan is a good wrestler. Seth Rollins is phenomenal, but at the same time, it's like, every week we're getting this Jason Jordan match where he's basically very strong during it, but at the end of it he just loses, and it's happening every week. And you gotta ask yourself a question: are you really that entertained by it as of right now? Are you not getting bored? Are entertained? I'm not. I think during these shows the best way to describe Monday Night Raw right now, too much Jason Jordan. Too much. And this guy was booed out of the building, man. During his entrance, during the match, this guy was booed out of the building. He was booed. After the match, we pretty much got Jason Jordan crying backstage to his daddy. Daddy! Daddy, I want Samoa Joe. I want Samoa Joe. And we got Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. And pretty much Samoa Joe announced that we're going to have 6-man tag team match. The Bar and Samoa Joe versus Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose and Jason Jordan. Cannot wait to see that. Well, not like I've seen it like 1,000 times. The Shield and the Bar in the same match. I cannot wait to see that, man. I'm having an orgasm. I am an orgasm. I just cannot wait to see that match. Good God, who gives a shit? WWE creative, take some Take some spray of logic. The best thing about this was Dean Ambrose's reaction. He was like, I don't want to tag with this guy. Look at his face. Look at his face. I don't want to tag with someone with this kind of face. I like Dean Ambrose during this segment. Then we got a Bray Wyatt promo, which was actually good. I enjoyed it. I was kind of afraid, scared that it's going to be the same thing from Matt Hardy, you know, where it's basically one promo and then Hardy's promo, the Wyatt's promo. It sounded bad because the first time it was priceless. The second time it's the same shit. If you're going to do it the third time, you're killing it, you know, in a bad way. And I enjoyed that it was just Bray Wyatt talking about, you know, mocking Matt Hardy, doing his laugh. I actually enjoyed it, and hopefully it's going to continue being entertaining, because I heard some bad things. During the 205 live tour, we're going to have Bray Wyatt versus Matt Hardy. During the 205. Dude, it's 405 at this point. It's 405. The only one lacking is the Big Show and Mark Henry, you know, and you're going to have a good match of eating chicken in the ring with sauce. And then we got Finn Balor, and I knew this is going to suck because it's going to be another Curtis Axel Bo Dallas squash. We got 1-on-2, and pretty much it ended in a disqualification because those two attacked Finn Balor during the match, and there the music hits. And it's Hideo Itami actually making his main roster debut on Monday Night Raw, and people didn't react at all, man. They was like, what is this guy? Is it the John Cena? Is it John Cena? John Cena coming back to Monday Night Raw. But then people kind of, you know, were like, okay, this is, we kind of know this guy. Let's act like we actually know who he is. Something like that happened. And he pretty much helped him, and then we got a tag team match between these two and Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas. Obviously, they won, and I gotta say, I'm really a little bit confused. There's two things that can come out of it. Hideo Itami is actually not going to 205, and he's staying on the main roster, and Hideo Itami just did it for a sake of a debut, and then he's going to be in 205 roster, or both of them are going to 205 roster, because we know Finn Balor is a cruiserweight a little bit. You know, when you think about it, he is a cruiserweight technically, but he should not be in that division because he's too big for that. I mean, he's Universal Champ, former Universal Champ. What are you doing with this guy? What are you doing with this guy? If you're going to put him on 205, oh man, kind of a bummer. That would be really a bummer, man. Don't do it, please, WWE. Please don't do it. So these are the three things. I don't know. You can take away from that, because there are so many possibilities, and most of them are actually bad. So you never know what's gonna happen. However, I think it was a pretty cool moment, pretty cool way to put a title on my videos. Return, debut. These videos gets a lot of views. Then we got Cruiserweight action with Drew Gulak versus Cedric Alexander. Yeah, one of my favorites actually. How can I mess up his name? And that match was pretty nice, you know. It was a #1 contenders match for the Cruiserweight Championship. Enzo Mori was on commentary, pretty annoying, too much talking. He pretty much talked over every commentator. It was like, oh man, this is kind of bad. And he was like looking at his phone, and he, you know, was texting Naya, you know, wanting some nudes. And he came backstage, and we pretty much got that match continuing, and Cedric Alexander won the match. Then we got a cut into a backstage area where there was Enzo and Nia pretty much flirting, talking some crap, you know, and Drew Gulak interfered with a bleeding nose, and he said like, I'll let you down, I will be better, blah blah blah, and Enzo Mori said like, yeah, whatever. And I don't know, this whole Nia and Enzo thing, and I'm not a fan. I'm honestly not a fan. I know. Hopefully Cedric Alexander wins the title, man, but it's not gonna happen. We're going to see Drew Gulak turning on Enzo Amore soon, and that's good as well. Drew Gulak is amazing. I love the guy. He's so entertaining, and you gotta look at some pictures of Drew Gulak back in the day, man. He looked so different when he was in Cruiserweight Classic, I think. He was like with a beard, pretty much bald, you know, this little spiky hair, and now he looks like a, you know, smart dude, and then he looked like a, you know, tough dude. Now he looks like a smart dude. So I think that was a good makeover. I enjoy that. Pretty much that's all with the cruiserweights. Then we got Asuka squashing Alicia Fox, and that's all about it. She won the match. Good for her. Not too excited because I know how it's going to end, but it's good. I'm happy about that. There's not a lot to talk about. Hopefully, we'll get something else from her because I'm kind of tired of these squash matches, but at the same time, I cannot really complain. Then we got Joe and the Bar versus Jason and the Shield. That's so exciting. That is so exciting, and something happened to Dean Ambrose during the match. He was pretty much, I guess, injured, kayfabe injured, or real, I'm not quite sure, probably kayfabe outside of the ring, and it distracted Seth Rollins' attention. And we got Cesaro pretty much kicking him or something, but it was nasty. And the referee was not here, but he still pinned him. Like, referee was a little bit too late, but Seth Rollins still, got pinned, and Cesaro was the one to take the victory. I'm really surprised about that, and I'm happy about that. Cesaro deserves something. It kind of made Cesaro look a little bit more stronger, and Jason Jordan loses 2 matches in a row in the same night. But Dad! Then we got a Revival return, pretty much just hitting the music. That was about it, and we got Revival versus Rhino and Heath Slater. And of course the Revival won. It was, decent. I don't know. It's just a return match. When you have a returning match, it's pretty much squashing those or something like that. And good to see these guys back because the tag team division on Raw is just terrible. On SmackDown, it's perfect. On Raw, it's just really terribly bad. And I cannot I cannot lie. It's just really that bad. However, the thing that you can actually take away from that is what was I thinking? I gotta open up my notes. Oh, okay. We got this backstage segment between Kurt Angle, Rhino, and Slater, and Kurt Angle pretty much said, "You guys need to do something because you're pretty much losing. You need to do something to get back to the momentum and shit." And Rhino was like, Slater, I know what we need to do. We need to change our attitudes. I don't know how to do it. And they came backstage. I'm not quite sure what that meant. But he pretty much said we need to change our attitudes. And hopefully it means a heel turn. I would love to see these guys as tag team champions again. I would love to see them actually doing something in this tag team division on Raw. Because on SmackDown it feels like most of the tag teams are strong. On Raw there's like 2 tag teams, 3 tag teams. That's all that are strong. So hopefully it will mean something. I'm a fan of both of these guys, so I would really love to see them succeeding on Raw as well as they did on SmackDown. Then we got a Samson concert, which pretty much singing, and I love this guy. This guy singing is amazing, cool school voice, annoying at the same time. The crowd gets annoyed, and he pretty much, manipulates them by saying something that the crowd doesn't like. The city of the crowd, and it was good. But then it was like Sasha Banks interfering. I was like, what the fuck? And Michael Cole acts like it's the best thing ever. He acts like Brock Lesnar just defeated The Undertaker at WrestleMania. He acts like Chris Benoit just returned to WWE. Honestly, that was his reaction. Oh my god, it's Sasha, it's the boss, something like that. And I was like, what the fuck, man, what's the big deal about that? And that was about it. Samson just looked at her like, oh my god, I don't want to fuck that shit. And then we got another woman, Mickie James, interfering. Then we got Bayley, and Samson refused to hug her. He actually thought that they're going to sing with him, but then he realized they're not. He left, and then we got this Absolution versus those 3, and ended in disqualification. And then they were dominant, these 3 Absolution women. And we got Nia Jax pretty much interfering. And she beaten the crap out of those 2 goons. However, from behind, Paige attacks Nia Jax, and then all the other women come in. Basically, a battle royal. Pretty much all Raw women, same crap every week. And Stephanie McMahon's music hits, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what that means, Royal Rumble. And she pretty much announced a Royal Rumble match for women. Okay, I'm not too excited. Just like I've said, man, but if it's going to work out, it's going to work out, man. If it's going to be good, continue it. I'm okay with them taking actually a risk because it's rare that they're actually taking that, so I'm quite okay with that, honestly. However, it was kind of weird when they were pretty much brawling, and then they were like standing celebrating all together. It was so bad. It didn't make any sense. I don't think it was the right way to end the show, and just like I've said, nothing that actually got me too excited. However, always, Matt Hardy, when you have a bad show, when you have a terrible show, you always have Matt Hardy, who is going to make your mood better. He played chess with Bray Wyatt? No, he played chess with golden fish, with goldfish. Yeah, he played chess with that, and he pretty much talked with the fish. He pretty much, yeah. His laugh is just music to my ears.
There is no need for the foul language. We live and we learn.
He's talking to a fish.
Napoleon, you've always had such a complex for having a small vessel. Perhaps when you inhibit your next Homo sapien vessel, you'll get right to the arena. How does it sound?
Homo sapien vessel. This guy is just unbelievable, man. This guy is the best thing on Raw, and he's the only guy that I'm actually waiting to see on Monday Night Raw. He pretty much said Homo sapien vessel or something like that. What does vessel mean, by the way? I need to Google that. But this guy is, man, it's just like it reminds me of the movie The Room, you know, Tommy Wiseau, where he's basically like such a bad actor. It was the worst thing ever. I might do a review about this on my second channel. I don't know, everybody did that, but I just love the movie. It's the best, worst movie ever made. And Matt Hardy reminds me of that because when the first this whole broken gimmick happened, it was so bad, it's so terrible, and then you watch it over and over again and you love it. It's the worst thing ever made. It's just bad in a good way, something like that. I love this guy, and that was your Monday Night Raw. How much I would rate it? 3 out of 10. Not enjoyed. I don't know, man. I don't know. Hopefully SmackDown will not disappoint us because the previous SmackDown was okay-ish. So hopefully it's going to be better. The Raw is just, I don't know, man. I don't know what's happening with Monday Night Raw. I'm really sad about that. Anyway, guys, let me know your rating in the comments below. What do you think about Matt Hardy's talk with fish? The great one. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.